Amy Andrews plotting to pounce, as she's done so many times already this season. So a fascinating test of just where both of these sides are at. Sheffield United riding the crest of a wave. Nottingham Forest looking to keep pace with the top three. What does the first league meeting between these two sides have in store for us? Carly Davis saying pre-match she expects a very physical battle. Nottingham Forest needing to match that. They've conceded an early free kick. Rousers looking to run away with it, but it's been pulled back here. So Leanne Cowan playing at right wing back today will get us back underway. Here's Lafayette. There's Garcia at her back. Kirsty Smith. And we'll get it back. That's a lovely touch by Devlin. Just a little bit beyond a teammate. You can see the invention there. Sheffield United have taken 10 points from the last 12 available. They really have been in fine form. Here's their captain, Kinsit. First touch of the ball for Sian Rogers onto Lafayette. Well, Andrews onto it, but couldn't quite keep it in play. And Carly Davis, a side that has been led to within 4 points of the top three. Said they competed with Birmingham City, but in the end, perhaps a 3-0 scoreline was slightly out of kilter with the context of the game. There's a chance for Rowe to come forward here. Brought Smith into the equation. Hit Garcia. Well, Sheffield United have played their way out nicely. Molly Rouse calling for it and getting it. Here's Garcia. Boyhlorka. Well, she will look to take things on from any angle. Fairly regulation stop for Sian Rogers, but a couple of goals already this season for Chantal Boyhlorka. It was an ambitious effort, but a statement of intent. Rose stopped in her tracks. Well, that's come off Devlin. It will be a Nottingham Forest throw. Luke Turner still interim charge. That's Sheffield United into the top half now. He says he doesn't pay too much attention to the league table. Sort the process and the table will sort itself out is the mantra you'll hear from him. Picked up by Hamilton. Rowe. Caught in a Sheffield United sandwich there. And immediately the quick ball looking for Andrews, just a little wayward. But that is something they will look to exploit throughout the afternoon. Sheffield United, Amy Andrews, 4 in the last 5. Already matching her total with Newcastle last season, where she was deemed surplus to requirements. She's been a real force for Sheffield United so far this season. Head on the cover. Halorka with the turn. And plenty making forward runs. Well covered by Sophie O'Rourke. Well overhit there by Jess Revel. Young defender who is really impressing so far this season. Actually a second spell with the club, even though she's just turned 20. Halorka trying to slip it through for Garcia. Lafayette saw it coming. It's been an enterprising start from Nottingham Forest. Trying to probe with the passes. Garcia here. Rogers. Devlin coming deep to get involved in the play. Had it taken off her toes by Rowe. Garcia round the corner. And that's been cut out. Here's Hamilton. Rourke on the cover here. Smith trying to keep it in play. Claims the throw and gets it. Well, Molly Rouse has escaped from that brilliantly. Looking to send Andrews on the chase. Can she keep it in play? Well, Sheffield United with the counter here. Devlin, Andrews, shooting position. Well blocked. And now the game a bit stretched. Here come Nottingham Forest through Rowe. And they find the pass. Well, Garcia, not what she had in mind. Well, it's been a lively start. First chance we've seen Andrews sprinting forward with purpose. Will always play on the shoulder. Tommy George. And Lafayette. And Sheffield United looking for a third consecutive home win. They went well over a year without a home win at all. Certainly brighter times at Bramall Lane. They've gone from a squad being put together at very short notice at the start of last season to one that has been constructed with much more thought. And they're moving forward here. Kinzik trying to get on the end of this. Rose spotted the danger. His boy Holoka. Thomas looking over the top. Hamilton had made the run, just recycling it back inside. He's trying to get the run beyond Lafayette. He's got the legs to get there and prevent the corner. Here's Smith. Now Rowe. Rowe picking it up once more. Getting away from Tammy George. Rouse picking up the pieces. Here's Coward. Now Devlin. Rogers at her back. Well, loose ball picked up here. And a free kick given as Hamilton goes down. O'Rourke with the infringement there. You can see Hamilton just asking the referee whether a card might have been presented. In Hamilton's view, it was a promising attack. Seemed like an awful long way to go. As Rogers just slides out together. Made several key saves at Crystal Palace last week. Luke Turner admitting that at times Sheffield United rode their luck towards that 2-1 win. Now Andrews. It's time to turn. Mustaki back with her. In the end, Andrews running out of room. And she's been a key part of Sheffield United's success in recent weeks. And they really have kicked on from what was a pretty miserable opening night. 4-0 defeat here against Sunderland. They've shaken that off very quickly, Sheffield United, as the attempt comes in from range. Well, Lafayette decided it was worth a go. Well, the opportunity presented itself, and Lafayette thought, why not? Nothing in the end for Emily Batty to worry about in the Nottingham Forest goal, but just a warning shot from Lafayette. O'Rourke. Rouse. Lafayette's ball cut out. Hamilton. Disrupted again, Hamilton. You see two fingers being put up towards the referee to indicate the number of times she's been fouled in recent minutes. Well, the Northern Ireland International has been busy. Still holds the record, Hamilton, of being Northern Ireland's youngest ever player Back in 2012, she made her international debut at 15 years and 121 days old. Cut out by Cowan. Andrews. Carly Davis saying she didn't want her team to be intimidated by coming to Bramall Lane. She says bigger pitches suit our style. And that's a nice ball. What can they do from this position? Well, it is going to end up being a goal kick. It came back off the shins of Eberhead. They've made an industrious run. Thomas with the ball through to her. She got the wrong side just for a second of Butler, who recovered the situation. It was a pass that asked a little more of Lafayette than perhaps it should have done, but Sheffield United have got away with it. Rouse, Devlin. Touch just taking it into the path of the captain for Nottingham Forest, Georgia Brome. Head. Boy-Clarker. Hamilton on the chase here. And the flag has gone up. I mentioned it's the first league meeting between these two sides. They did meet before a couple of years ago in the FA Cup, a 3-0 success for Sheffield United with Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and Mia Enderby on the score sheet. Here's O'Rourke. Lafayette brought into play. Rouse. Corner given as Smith made the challenge. First set piece for Sheffield United to attack. They got joy from one of these last weekend at Crystal Palace. It's going to be Devlin with the in-swinger. Plenty in that 6-yard box, and well, it's hit the side of the post on its way out. Well, Batty was concerned enough to get across and try and cover. Very dangerous delivery from Devlin. Devlin's got a goal or assist in 3 of the last 4 games and close to creating something there. Thomas. Smith. I was trying to open things up on this right-hand side with Hamilton. It's an early delivery. In the end, a comfortable claim for Sian Rogers. Garcia picking it up here for Forest. Now Hamilton. Rogers. Lafayette stepping in. Devlin. It's an ambitious ball for Andrews. Georgia Brome able to deal with it. Brome, who returned after missing 6 games with injury against Birmingham on Monday night. Featured heavily in London City Lionesses' title-winning campaign last season. Looking to lead Nottingham Forest forward here. Now Boy Hulorka. Rogers. Rowe. Boy Hulorka operating on this right-hand side for the moment. Linking up with Hamilton. Lafayette again trying to get the challenge in. And safety first from Sophie O'Rourke. Brome with Andrews in pursuit. Well, Nottingham Forest have been targeting this right-hand side for a lot of this first half. Rowe couldn't find a teammate in the middle. I'll have another opportunity though, Forest. Boy Hulorka. Rowe. And immediately a hand up in apology. Back in the starting lineup today, having come on as a substitute right at the start of the second half on Monday night. Rachel Rowe, a player who is kind of a marker for how far the game has come. Made her Wales debut while she was still working in the prison service. Now has 76 caps. Head getting it back from the throw. Boy Hulorka. Losing out here to Rouse. Now, what can Sheffield United build from here? Andrews on the charge. Looked like it showed a bit too much to Smith there, and eventually the charge down challenge does lead to Nottingham Forest reclaiming possession. Smith getting there ahead of O'Rourke. Rowe. Thomas. Head. Now Mustaki. Boy Hulorka. Looking to turn away from Cowan, who is staying close. Smith now. It's a good move from Forest, this. Hamilton. This is looking to assert themselves in the game. Rogers. Rowe darting towards the area and taking on the effort. And in the end, Rodgers was able to collect what turned into a tame shot by virtue of a deflection. Lovely touch from Thomas. Garcia looking for a runner that never arrived. Immediate pressure on the ball here from Nottingham Forest. O'Rourke forced back to a goalkeeper. Revel. Kinzet flicking it towards Devlin. And now Sheffield United have got over halfway. But will go no further. Smith. Looking cross-field for Boyhlorka. Took that down beautifully. Back to Smith. Evading the challenge of O'Rourke. Boyhlorka looking for Garcia. And Rowe. Still trying to carve out the chance. The angle just wasn't quite there for Rowe, but she'll take the corner. Well, they're starting to knock on the door, Nottingham Forest. Garcia here, linking up with Rowe. And Revel with the challenge. Rowe just taking up a position right behind Sian Rodgers. Chloe Mustaki readying the set piece. Looking at a congested 6-yard area. Rodgers coming for it. Boyhlorka with the strike. Blocked. Thomas. Another superb block coming in. Well, Devlin had to make the challenge and did. It fell kindly for Thomas here. And Devlin sliding to prevent a goal-bound effort. Fine defensive work, but Sheffield United still with more to do here. Morris going short with the corner this time. Mustaki into the middle. It's a hanging delivery and had to be dealt with by Rodgers there. That was looking like it was going to creep under the crossbar. Well, alert goalkeeping, as that was dipping and weaving and was dangerous from Mustaki. Sian Rodgers backpedaling and palming it to safety. Here's Rowe. Well, Nottingham Forest will feel they've had the better of this opening half an hour, but the scoreline says they don't have anything to show for it just yet. Rouse. Devlin. Andrews in space in the box. That could be dangerous. She's closed down quickly. Hamilton. Lafayette for company. Well, Luke Turner, I beg your pardon, saying he'd like his side to be better in possession. Not the prettiest win last weekend, were his words. Rouse. Thomas. One of the curious things about Nottingham Forest's season so far is, despite the fact they're fourth on the table, they're yet to lead a game at half-time. Perhaps they can change that equation here. Boyhlorka, lovely ball to Garcia. Can she find the shooting chance? Kinsit trying to close her down. Rowe now! Just wide. Well, Cam was across to make life difficult there for Rachel Rowe. But yet more Forest pressure. And that just drifts past the post from Rachel Rowe. They are continuing to put the pressure on. Meanwhile, Sian Rogers might need a bit of treatment here. Only recently back from injury. Last season's player of the year. So both sides will take the opportunity to take on some drinks and some instructions from the respective head coaches. There'll be a Nottingham Forest camp that is slightly happier with the way this has gone, even though the scoreline remains unchanged. It's been a first half in which Nottingham Forest have showed a fair bit of creativity going forward, plenty of interesting rotations, the likes of Kirsty Smith and Cara Hamilton interchanging on that right-hand side in particular. Well, a smile from Sian Rogers is a hopeful indicator. Meanwhile, Luke Turner trying to get a few messages across. So Rogers is okay to continue. And she'll get us back underway from the goal kick, which arrived after that Rowe effort went close. Kinsit. Captain just going back here. Revel. Here's Smith. Brome. Forest just looking to draw Sheffield United out a bit before playing it into midfield. Boyhlorka now out wide for Smith. Hamilton making a familiar run. Dealt with by O'Rourke and a combination of her and Lafayette. Well, that tells its own story of the amount of work Nottingham Forest are doing defensively to stop Sheffield United making much progress. Harley Davis called for physicality. They have certainly brought that. And they brought some good football too. Garcia. Thomas had made the run. Lafayette with the clearance. Garcia. And Rowe. Oh, she looks to the heavens. Never really got hold of that in the way that she wanted to there, Rachel Rowe. It's another strike at goal, though, for the visitors. Another decent move. They haven't quite found the finish to match their build-up play so far. Hamilton. Hamilton going to ground and winning the free kick. A few questions being asked of Jodie Turner, but Sheffield United will have to get back into defensive shape. There's Rouse with the challenge. Right, Eberhead is standing with Georgia Brome here. Plenty forward looking to get ahead on this. Short to Brome instead. Now lifted in. Rogers. Rowe. Another block. Rogers. Another effort from distance. This time it'll come for Rowe. Rogers. Sheffield United getting bodies in the way when it matters. And pressure a lead by a poor pass. Andrews. Looked like she was being held there, and the referee has given the free kick after an advantage failed to develop. Well, that's a pretty clear holding offence there by Georgia Brome. Devlin and O'Rourke here in conversation about this free kick. And it's Devlin to deliver. And beyond everyone. Well, Sheffield United's good results have been built on tight games. They are among the lowest scorers in the division. Only Ipswich, in fact, have scored fewer than Sheffield United. And on the back foot here. Rowe. Well, the whistle's gone for an offside. A few steps back in the move. The referee not happy with the placement of the ball, which needs to be further out to Sheffield United's right. This game's still very tightly poised, as is the rest, frankly, of the WSL2 table. Charlton at the moment, the surprise leaders. Birmingham and Bristol City looking strong. Crystal Palace still with just the one win and a lot of draws. Meanwhile, Ipswich at the bottom in a little bit of trouble. A sliding challenge coming in on Garcia, and the referee's taken exception to that. And Devlin is going to go in the book. He's been booked in her last 3 WSL2 games. Make that 4. Well, Devlin can have a few complaints about that. Here's Smith. Rogers. Taken off her toes there. Good work by Tammy George. Now Devlin. And that's a little bit too much of rouse there, Devlin. Well, not for the first time this afternoon. A Sheffield United move has fizzled out. And now we've got a player down. That's Tammy George holding the side of her face there. It seems like she's going to be okay to continue. Important part of this Sheffield United side. She's started every league game so far. Clearly ready for the level, having made a big jump up from National League North, where she'd been with Wolves since she was 8 years old. Rowe. Hamilton the option. He's back inside. Thomas just showing a little bit too much of that to the Sheffield United defence. Andrews can't quite pounce on the ball that was slightly loose in the direction of Brown. Time ticking away for Nottingham Forest to find an opener in the first half, in which they've had largely the better of it. Up, back and through. Garcia on the chase here. Cowan coming across. Rowe. Deep cross. Hamilton there. And will this drop in towards Garcia? She's trying to bring Rowe into it. Dealt with at the back. There's Butler with the clearance. Brown. Rowe made the run inside and the ball went out. We sense Luke Turner might be happy to get his Sheffield United side in just to reassess the situation. They've not been able to throw too many punches going the other way. Hamilton. Bro. Now Rodgers. Patient play once again from Nottingham Forest, waiting for their option, but this time it's broken down. Rouse getting the pass from Andrews. As we have 3 additional minutes added on. Well, Andrews was the target there of the cross from Rouse, dealt with at the back by Forest. Well, a rare opportunity in this first half for Sheffield United to come forward and cause a few problems. Lafayette with the free kick. Go the heads. Drops for Andrews here. Revel. Rourke. It's a good move. It's a good effort. It's off the crossbar. Well, Tammy George with the spectacular attempt, and it nearly paid off. Devlin. Well, Sheffield United's best moment of the match so far in stoppage time. Tammy George so close to the opener there. Lafayette. Getting away from the challenge of Hamilton. George. Sophie O'Rourke. Let's charge down. Have another go. Rouse. Kinzit. But they're looking for an angle. Forest have just about dealt with that. And good pressure from Revel, who goes for goal herself. And that had to be stopped by Batty, who wasn't sure if that was creeping inside her post. And having seen her crossbar rattled by George moments earlier. Well, this was the chance. Well, the goalkeeper was beaten, but not the frame of the goal. Well, Sheffield United sparking into life in the final stages of the first half, in which Nottingham Forest have largely asked the questions. Rachel Rowe among those Forest players with decent opportunities. A shot from her that just drifted past Sian Rodgers' left-hand post. Tammy George coming so close to the opener as well. Right at the end of the first half, whacking the crossbar, with Emily Batty beaten. But no goals so far in a tight contest. Half-time, Sheffield United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. So both teams unchanged from the first 45. Rachel Rowe among those with Forest chances, looking to find a way through. So the first half was tight. Well, we see things open up a little bit more in the second 45. Early touch for Rowe here. Well, straight away, keenly contested in midfield, and Sheffield United will have the free kick. Well, the home side looking to start the second half as they finish the first. Adding a bit more pressure. Devlin's ball into the middle. Emily Batty, who spent a bit of time at Sheffield United earlier in her career. Over 100 appearances for Nottingham Forest now. Here's Mustaki. Boyhlauker. Around the corner for Rowe. Now Head making the run. Garcia with a bit of space. It's a good move from Forest, this. Head. Lafayette with the block. Here's Boyhlauker. Just helping it into the path of Freya Thomas. Rogers. Hamilton. Thomas had continued the run. Thomas short of room. And here's Rowe. Thomas again. Rogers. Bro. Need to slip it through. Lafayette on the cover here for Sheffield United. Now Andrews. Looking for support. And almost found it. Butler had made the run. It's a telling intervention to make sure the ball got back to Batty instead. Well, it was a quiet first half, but she remains a real threat. Amy Andrews only needs one chance, and Nottingham Forest will be well aware of that. Boyhlauker. Lovely touch. Here's Rowe. More arriving in the attack here for the visitors. Ebba Head. Swede looking in field. Boyhlauker. Might drop on the edge of the box for a Forest boot. Whack clear. Bro. Searching ball. Again, Sheffield United have dealt with it. Rouse just leaving the pass a little short. Here's Garcia. Rogers. Smith having to come backwards here. Well, familiar pattern developing from the first half. Sheffield United trying to pounce on anything here that they can move forward and break, but quickly disrupted once more. Thomas. Hamilton stopped. Well, Nottingham Forest certainly brought the intensity and physicality they needed to in the first half. I'm just looking for an added bit of quality in the final third, perhaps. Mustaki. Tammy George just looking a little bit uncomfortable there. Play continues. Hamilton. Moving away from O'Rourke. Boychlorka. Gets it back from Head. Garcia was the target. Lafayette. Andrews. Trying to chase her own flick-ons. Mustaki. Under pressure from George. Handled it well. A reminder, Nottingham Forest started the day 4 points outside the top three, but with first against third today in the shape of Charlton hosting Bristol City, it might be a chance to narrow the gap. Boychlorka. Changes might be being readied by Sheffield United in just a few moments. In the meantime, defending to be done. Eberhead. Nice ball for Rowe. Garcia. Will there be a shooting opportunity? She was closed down well. Boychlorka was always on the stretch there to try and get the ball back. Rowe. Driving into the penalty area and going for goal. And Rodgers getting a hand to it. Oh, good work from the Sheffield United goalkeeper. He's wanting a little bit more from those further ahead. Rowe taking on the effort. Had to make sure as well, did Rodgers, that wasn't palmed into the path of the oncoming Hamilton. Forest continuing to press the issue here. Smith. Boychlorka. Well, in the end, no threat to Sian Rodgers' goal. Lafayette just on her haunches at the moment. Getting through plenty of work at the back for Sheffield United. It has been feast or famine for Nottingham Forest so far this season. They're yet to draw a game. Just being forced back here. Molly Rouse. George. Devlin trying to take it on, but Brown was there to prevent further progress. Well, Hamilton's escaped the challenges really well. Revel reading that brilliantly. Here's Butler. I'm hearing her number might be raised shortly. Devlin. It's a decent ball into the middle. It might still cause some trouble. Rouse. Well, the back heel was intended for Devlin, just wide of her. Rodgers. Smith, Hamilton, Garcia. Want to wriggle away from the challenges. Rowe, now Head. Lorca's out wide. Into the channel it goes for the run of Head. An awful lot of support around her, and that showed. Sheffield United want the throw. And Nottingham Forest are getting on with it. Garcia. Again, immediately surrounded by red and white shirts. Smith helping it on. Freya Thomas intending to find Boyt-Lorca. Gets it from Rogers instead. Now Head. Boyt-Lorca again. Well, it's the third or fourth time this afternoon she's gone for goal from distance and hasn't hit the target yet. And change is coming for the home side. So we're seeing Eva Butler and Tammy George withdrawn. And Tilly Bristow and Lauren Thomas coming on. George, who came so close to the opener just before the break, and ever they hit the crossbar. And it's Tilly Bristow who's going to come on for her, product of the Sheffield United Academy. She's come off the bench in every league game so far this season. The star of the under-21 side, who signed her first pro deal in the summer. Looking to make her mark. She's got half an hour to do so. Batty's clearance. Well, claims of a foul line given. Well, Sheffield United haven't created too much danger from these set plays yet. Devlin with the ball in. Strong header away. And here comes Rowe. Well, plenty that's been good about Nottingham Forest play going forward has seemed to come from Rachel Rowe. Bristow with some early involvement. His Head. Rowe in towards Garcia. He's checking over her shoulder. Knew where Boyt-Lorca was. Boyt-Lorca stepping into the area now. And Smith onside. Lafayette with the clearance. Boyt-Lorca will settle for the throw. Here's Rowe. Hamilton. Lafayette getting a boot in, only as far as Thomas. Thomas getting it back from Rowe here. It's a deep ball. And there's no one in a Forest shirt to get on the end of it. Well, Thomas urged to carry it here, the substitute. Taking it a good 70 yards there before finding Andrews, who claims to throw but won't get it. Lauren Thomas, one of the summer signings from Everton. Andrews. Thomas. Thomas again, can she add to the forward threat of Sheffield United? Finds Devlin. That's blocked by Smith. Rouse. Revel. Andrews with the flick into the path of Rouse. Lovely turn from Thomas, who goes down, and that'll be a free kick. Mustaki pleads her innocence, but this is going to be a dangerous-looking set piece for Sheffield United. Well, Thomas with the flick, which did for Mustaki. She's saying there wasn't an awful lot of contact. Let's have a look. It does look like she's been tripped. Well, Devlin and Lafayette sizing this up. 4 in the wall. What can Sheffield United deliver from here? It's Lafayette, and straight into the clutches of Batty. Oh, comfortable stop in the end. Thomas has added a little something for Sheffield United going forward. She's the target again. Expertly cut out. Boyd-Lorca. Just a little bit too far for Garcia. Rogers. Hamilton. Still fighting for it. Andrews can take this on, though. The beating of one already. Devlin up with her. So is Thomas. Amy Andrews onto Devlin. And Thomas in the area now. It's Thomas! And it's tipped over the top. Well, she's added a real spark. As Lauren Thomas. Andrews here, now with some support. And Thomas fired the deflection, forcing the save from Batty, who had to deal with that. Still looking for her first goal in Sheffield United colours, but it's been a promising few minutes. A change coming for Nottingham Forest, though. Garcia off, and on comes Charlie Wellings. Well, we'll see where she slots in, but you imagine she'll go through the middle. Garcia, more of a second striker, if anything, has been trying to lead the line. So Lafayette with this Sheffield United corner. Her in-swingers have been dangerous this season. Well, Revel went down and looks towards the referee. Well, she feels she's been fouled, but if she was, it wasn't spotted by the officials. There's the ball coming in. Well, she's already down out of your picture before it arrived in that part of the field. Well, she's free at the moment, Revel. In comes Devlin's delivery. Rogers with the header at the near post. Wellings then. Finds Thomas. Rogers losing out. Now Devlin. Devlin has stayed down temporarily after that challenge. In fact, both sides down to 10 at the moment. Hamilton calling for it. Revel coming across. Strong defensive work at the back from a player who already turned 20 this week. Boychlorka. Looking to twist and turn. Open up an opportunity. Lauren Thomas on defensive duty for Sheffield United. Boychlorka still with it. And gets it back from Rowe, and Boychlorka, well, it's on target, but it's a fairly straightforward stop for Sian Rogers. And once again, Chantal Boychlorka showing her threat. She's getting closer. Here's Thomas. Hamilton back to Smith. Now Rowe. Wellings looking for the run of Hamilton. And Lafayette will just see this out. Well, Sian Rogers has got another problem. We saw her go down in the first half and need a bit of treatment. Clearly some discomfort there for the former England Youth International. Well, it's been a second half in which Sheffield United have shown a little bit more coming forward. And Nottingham Forest haven't had things quite as much their own way as they did in the first. Still, though, it's that statistic in the top corner of the screen that hasn't changed. It's looking more and more like one goal will be enough for either side. Carly Davis passing on a few more instructions. Charlotte Parker-Smith is the Sheffield United substitute goalkeeper. Just readying herself should she be called upon by Luke Turner. Still officially an interim charge, not the first time he's taken on the role. Initially came in to Sheffield United as the head of strength and conditioning. So if there are risks to be assessed in terms of Rogers continuing, well, Luke Turner will be the sort of person who knows how to size that up. Rogers for now seems okay. And into the final 20 minutes we go. Well, where might a breakthrough emerge from? A moment of inspiration, perhaps a mistake. Perhaps it's someone like Lauren Thomas who's been bright since coming on. Here is Thomas. And Andrews making the run. It's opened up for her if she can be spotted. Ball didn't come quickly enough. Devlin strike charge down. Kinsit. Devlin. Trying to clip it towards Andrews in the box over her head, and no one able to get there before Batty. Rowe. Nice turn away from Rouse. Surging forward. Looking for Wellings with the ball over the top. Kinsit. Andrews. Making it with Devlin. And taken on. And an excellent stop. Bristow with the effort. Batty with the save. And it remains goalless. Well, Sheffield United starting to carve out more and more opportunities. Andrews here combining with Devlin. They've done that so many times this season. A bit of confusion in the Nottingham Forest defence. Tilly Bristow almost profiting from that. And it's a good stop by Batty. Andrews waiting in the penalty area. Rouse just in front of the goalkeeper here as Devlin sizes up the situation. Revel making the run and almost getting ahead to it. This is still not dealt with. Revel and tipped over the top by Batty. Well, she's been drawn into good saves in quick succession. Jess Revel here, almost doubling her tally for the season. Getting herself on there ahead of Hamilton. Wanted it more in the air, just couldn't divert it away from Batty. Another Sheffield United corner. Rodgers at the near post. It'll come back to Devlin. Well, Rodgers hasn't quite got hold of that, and Rouse with the effort. And off the post. Well, the shot coming in from Thomas is smuggled behind again. Well, suddenly it's the Nottingham Forest goal that looks like it's living a bit of a charmed life. Sheffield United with some sustained pressure now. Devlin's delivery. Revel getting up there, just ahead of her. And Boy Lorca away. Wellings fighting for possession, winning the throw. Well, Emily Batty with a succession of stops. And then Devlin, she put this in. Was he having to make the stop there? And then not too much she knew about that before the effort from Thomas hit the post and was put behind. So a substitution for Nottingham Forest. Rachel Rowe has come off, and Vivian Lear, on loan from Arsenal, has been brought on with 15 minutes to go. It's Sheffield United growing in strength at the moment, but either side could still find a way through. There's Lafayette. Cowan. Leah. Well, Carly Davis was saying they were expecting moments where Sheffield United would be in the ascendancy today. And when that moment came, they would have to calm the situation down. They're giving away the free kick. We're hearing Alyssa Ahern is going to be coming on very shortly as well for Sheffield United. Player making a comeback from injury. Cowan. Kept in play by Rouse. Devlin on the chase here. Barging into the back of Mustaki and winning the ball. Ollie Rouse getting away from Lear. Trying to slip it through for Andrews. Now it's Boy Lorca. Wellings had made the run. Ella Kinzit. Thomas. Moving away from Head. Kinzit just keeping things ticking over. Tilly Bristow. It's a good turn away from Hamilton. Home fans enjoyed that. Rouse. Thomas. 4 around it. Mustaki making the challenge. Strong challenge from Bristow. Rouse. And now Devlin. Bristow continuing her run as Devlin goes down. Thomas coming away with it. Legally in the eyes of the officials. Here's Wellings. Now Head. Oh, it's over the top and Hamilton has just strayed beyond the line. Looks like we're going to see another change in a moment as well as Hamilton gets back in position. So Charlie Devlin is being withdrawn. And it's another forward who is being introduced, Alyssa Ahern. Picked up on a free transfer from Manchester United after a loan spell. She was back in the squad last weekend at Crystal Palace, having missed 5 weeks through injury. Scored on her debut last season, did Alyssa Ahern. Hasn't done so since. In for the final 10 minutes or so. As we still await the breakthrough. Cowan. Thomas was the target there. Industry from Kinzit to pick it up now. Andrews just into the heels of Ahern. No foul as Wellings goes to ground. Launched in the vicinity of Andrews, but just too far away from her. Well, so far you'd say Nottingham Forest had the better of the first half, Sheffield United the second, but neither side with anything to show from the moments of pressure they were able to develop. Patty's certainly been the busier goalkeeper in this second 45 minutes. Here's Smith. Hamilton. Well, Lafayette's going to go long with the throw. That's pretty clear. It's just wide of Leah, that pass, and here's Thomas. Excitement building whenever she gets on the ball. Heavy touch from Andrews, though. Here's Smith. What ideas do Nottingham Forest have in this final 10 minutes? There's a good challenge coming in. Boyd-Lorca helping it to Hamilton. Thomas. Moving away from Lafayette. It's good feet from Thomas, and now Boyd-Lorca. Sizing up the opportunity for the shot. Revel in the way. Kinsit with the clearance, but that was after a foul had been committed. Hamilton is the player on the deck. It's good work initially from Thomas. Boyd-Lorca's effort headed away. Well, the judgment is that Hamilton was impeded there, and it's a position of promise for Nottingham Forest. Hamilton just loitering in the penalty area, but Boyd-Lorca is taking a good long look at this. Our last goal was against Portsmouth in October. Boyd-Lorca is the only one standing anywhere near the ball. She's taking on the strike, and it had to be palmed away. Rogers shoveling it away from danger. It's still Forest in possession, and it's Rogers. Brome. Into the box, Wellings. Lear will get to this, but has to run away from goal. Lear with a few in the box to aim for. And now Lauren Thomas trying to scamper forward. Head. Wellings cross. Andrews won't be able to keep that in play. Well, this is the free kick from Boyd-Lorca. Dealt with by Rogers. It's Boyd-Lorca in possession again. Mustaki's ball. Wellings holding off the challenge. Getting it back from Rogers. Smith. Nottingham Forest just having their own spell here. And launch towards the area. Both sides claiming the decision. It's going to be a corner. Well, O'Rourke and Lafayette are down after that. Mustaki's delivery in. Well, with every passing second, the peril rises of conceding. And the opportunity here for Forest. And it's not been dealt with yet. And past the post. Well, it was the captain, Georgia Brome, who got the final touch. Rogers coming out here, trying to deal with it. And as it came to Brome, it came very quickly. And she just had to try and stick a boot on it. Could only succeed rather in putting it past the post. Georgia Brome, the closest that Forest have come for a little while. Certainly would have been a good time to score your first Nottingham Forest goal. Boyloka. Oh, big challenge with Tilly Bristow, and it's a free kick that has gone Nottingham Forest's way. Well, Sheffield United fans unhappy because it seemed initially like it would be a decision that went in their favour. Mustaki. Cowan off Leah, and there'll be a goal kick. Well, a couple of changes being readied for Nottingham Forest here. Holly Olding and Tove Almqvist set to come on, but not quite yet. Thomas. Is this to be an afternoon where both sides have to respect the point, or is there going to be some late drama? Hamilton looking for Smith. And now the changes will come for the visitors. So it's Almqvist who'll come on first. Kirsty Smith will make way. Almqvist, another of the 15 summer signings that were made by Nottingham Forest. The second of them made from Djurgården, as Olding comes on as well. Amy Rogers coming off for her. Lafayette's clearance. Into stoppage time we go. 5 minutes then for one of these sides to find a winner. Well, both have come close to scoring. Leah's header. Brome's clearance. It's good work in midfield. Cowan wide for Thomas. Thomas looking to drive beyond Leah, who gets a boot in. Thomas. Up in the air from Cowan. Bristow trying to fight for it. Lorca. Still time for one more chance, perhaps. Thomas has looked likely. Holding with the challenge. Cowan getting it back here. Now Bristow. Away from one challenge. Lear across. Thomas. Sheffield United corner. Midway through stoppage time, and Thomas just asking the question as to the strategy here. It's going to be left for Lafayette. Well, they caused danger from a succession of corners in the second half, and Lafayette ready to swing this in again. And it comes from Lafayette. Revels heads. Batty claims. And looking to boot downfield quickly as well. Kinsit back into the Forest half. Returned with interest. Hellings looking to make a nuisance. It was Sophie O'Rourke with the clearance. Leah. Looking to turn away from Cowan. Options arriving in the box. Decent delivery. Kinsit trying to get up there with Lorca. Cowan's header away. Head back towards the danger zone. His head again. Vivian Lear. Into the final minute of the 5 we were promised. Head. Wellings. Lorca. An effort from range from Hamilton will drift wide. A hand aloft from Hamilton. As the final opportunity of the game may have come and gone. Thomas. And that is the full-time whistle. Point apiece. As Nottingham Forest draw for the first time this season, and Sheffield United keep a clean sheet for the first time this campaign. Plenty of effort and endeavour. And plenty of decent stops as well. Emily Batty in the second half having to make the majority of them. Woodwork was hit a couple of times as well by the hosts, as Nottingham Forest had the better of the first half, but had to weather a bit of a storm in the second. Honours even then at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Well, she made some excellent stops, did Emily Batty. Only her second clean sheet of the season, the first of them coming in August against Ipswich. She'll be pleased with her afternoon's work, particularly as Sheffield United in the second half asked more and more questions. We shouldn't forget it was Nottingham Forest who were more adventurous in the first 45. Could have found goals of their own. In the end, a point, probably a fair reflection of the 90 minutes we've seen. Well, Nottingham Forest into their huddle. We'll look to take the positives away from today, as will Sheffield United. The most positive of those things, a clean sheet for the first time this season. This is a squad that is continuing to build into the WSL 2 campaign, and they are now unbeaten in 5 as well. Well, here's the story of the match then. Sheffield United, the majority of their efforts in the second half, and hitting the target 6 times to Nottingham Forest 4. No goals. It was a keenly contested match. Plenty of midfield battles to keep an eye on. And in the end, neither side able to find a way through in what was an absorbing contest. One in which we ultimately didn't see a goal. So here's what's happening elsewhere in WSL 2. One apiece between Southampton and Durham earlier. A reminder of Monday night's fixture, Nottingham Forest losing at home to Birmingham in the last round of fixtures. 0-0 today. 2 apiece at half-time between Birmingham City and Portsmouth. Well, it's goalless between the sides in first and third at the start of the day's play. Charlton and Bristol City. And Ipswich Town leading Crystal Palace by a 0-0. A scoreline that will have a few eyebrows raised around WSL 2. Goalless as well, I should tell you, between Newcastle United and Sunderland in the Tyne Weir derby. Those games at half-time at the moment, and you can watch those right now on the WSL 2 YouTube channel.
We grew up with football.
Barclays WSL.
The envy of the world these days.
Not just watching it, but playing it.
Our top league now is fully professional.
There is much to which we can look forward here for sure.
We felt the support.
Quality of football improving, facilities improving.
We grew and our fans came with us.
A new Barclays WSL record attendance with 60,000 plus massive crowd.
You followed us to great heights.
A game of graft and determination.
And there could be more to come.
We grew up with more women leading the way.
She has seen it develop from part-time football to this colossus.
It's only going to get better and better.
We continue to grow with it.
Oh, what a goal!
Brilliantly done! Brilliant hit! Oh, magnificent! And she scores brilliantly!
How about that?
We grew up seeing the game change forever.
Oh, that's outrageous!
What a goal!
Fantastic finish! She is such a good player. Sensational!
We grew up as clubs shattered records.
Hayes history makers.
A record points total. Record number of WSL appearances.
A great season came to an end.
An invincible season and yet another Women's Super League title.
We're entering a new era.
Absolutely sublime.
And we're still here.
So thanks very much for your company at Bramall Lane this afternoon. It finished goalless. Sheffield United 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Thanks again for being with us. We will see you next time on the Barclays Women's Super League 2 YouTube channel.